19th year. With assets over $54 million, we have awarded over $28 million in grants and scholarships in every corner of this community and this amazing county. We were founded on the vision of collective philanthropy, bringing us all together to establish endowed and non-endowed funds that will serve to support our community forever. And we have done just that. And our Women's Legacy Fund, thanks to all of you here today, is proof of that. And you know how many people are here today? Really? 650 people. Give yourself a hand. This is the place to be. Now, we often talk about endowments now, and I'd like to just make this a little bit more simple. As many of you know, the Women's Legacy Fund was established by a few Community Foundation board members with a tremendous vision in the early days as a way to establish a permanent endowed grant-making fund within the Community Foundation, an endowed fund. This is a kind of a savings account. That's really what an endowment is. A kind of savings account where you don't spend what's in the account. You only spend what you earn on it. That way, you spend the earnings, you keep adding to it, it keeps growing, and one day, like today, the Women's Legacy Fund has over $1 million in your fund. Well done, well done. And all of you made this possible, and today we celebrate the grants that you are making and you have made possible from the growth of this fund. This savings account, congratulations on being good investors, good savers, good change makers in the community. The Women's Legacy Fund, which is all of us, in 14 short years has raised over $1 million, awarded over $200,000 in grants, and impacted thousands of lives across the county. But like a pebble in the pond, your grants have done more than touch the lives of women and girls that you have benefited. Your grants have impacted men, boys, families, communities, neighborhoods, schools, churches, and so much more. The pebble in the pond, the impact of Women's Legacy Fund is wide and far. To help us celebrate this year's grantees, I'm pleased to introduce and invite to join me on the stage the chair of the Women's Legacy Fund, Linda Reitner.
Ooh, I need to take a minute. What a great group. Thank you all for joining us. Just as a little aside, I was with some friends last night and they asked me if I was nervous about speaking today, and I said, a little bit. They gave me some great ideas to feel more comfortable, none of which I can share with you, but I want those friends over there to know you're in my head. Thank you, guys. I am honored to have served as the chair of the Women's Legacy Fund for the last 2 years. I'd like to introduce our advisory committee, and I'm going to ask them to stand as I call their name and ask you all to just wait till the end to applaud for them. Sharon Becko, Stacy Cannon, Marty Kloss, Kristen Flynn, Nella Girolo, Dee Lacey, Ann Murphy, Joan Parker, Suzanne Parker, Missy Reitner Cameron, and Mary Verdon. It is an honor to work with you women. Thank you so much for all you do for Women's Legacy Fund and our community. So another group that I really want to introduce is our grant committee. Our 2000 grant committee worked very hard to make this day happen, and the committee consisted of our co-chairs Sharon Becko and Dee Lacey, and our committee members Shelley Higginbotham, Kathy Murphy, Joanne Ruggles, and Diane Connor. Thank you all, ladies, very much. So at last year's luncheon, we announced some of the findings of the report titled, "What Do Women Need?" That report highlights some of the most pressing issues for women and girls in San Luis Obispo County. Among the most compelling facts was information about teenage girls. More than 40% of 9 to 11th graders say they felt so sad and or hopeless almost every day for at least 2 weeks that they couldn't do any of their usual activities. This number increased between 2009 and 2014. During that same time, interestingly enough, chronic sadness among boys decreased. So we got to do something for our girls. There is a copy of the full report on our website, and our address is right here on your program. If you want to take a look at it, I encourage you to. So with this new information from the report, the committee decided to make a decision to amplify the efficacy of our investments by making significant and multi-year grants starting this year. In this way, we can make an even greater impact of support to our nonprofit partners. So now for the good stuff. Today we are giving away $55,000 in grants. Isn't that amazing? So exciting. Our first grant of $15,000 is presented to Community Action Partnership of San Luis Obispo County for their Dream It, Be It program. This is a program providing support for collaboration with Seroptimist International of San Luis Obispo, and don't you think I practice Seroptimist a lot? Whew. To implement a one-year self-esteem program offered to 100 middle and high school girls. I'd like to ask Joanne Benham, the Youth Programs Director of CAPSLO, to come and tell us a little bit about the program. Joanne?
Thank you so much, and I'm so inspired by this huge crowd today of women who believe in young women in our community. This journey started when the report came out, and we were so inspired by the findings, and we feel like in Capsule Youth Programs we do a lot to empower young women, but we can do more. So we thought about, in particular, the young women in our teen academic parenting program, where these young women are parents or expecting, and helping them to see the possibilities in their lives is very challenging at times. So we were looking for a way to connect not only with them, but other young women who just don't have a vision for who they could be. And in the process, we found Seroptimist International and their curriculum, Dream It, Be It. And we are just excited to be in the schools now, working with young women on 7 sessions, everything from finding who you are, envisioning your future, managing your stress, overcoming obstacles. These are all things all of us need to learn, and we're so excited to be working with these young women in our high schools in our community and also middle schools. So I just want to thank everybody for their investment in us, and we look forward to being able to report back some great results. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Heidi.
Our second grant totals $40,000 to the Boys and Girls Club of North San Luis Obispo County to strengthen and expand their Smart Girls curriculum. This grant will be distributed over a 3-year period, each year including more girls in Atascadero and Paso Robles. Please welcome Kate Morgan, CEO of Boys and Girls Club, and Megan Harris, Director of Operations, who are going to tell us a little bit about the program and the impact it's going to have on girls.
Thank you very much to the Women's Legacy Fund for selecting us as the grant recipient. We are truly honored and ready to step up to the challenge. We'd also like to thank everyone in this room because these funds would not be available without the support of everyone here. Now, just to tell you a little bit about the program, Smart Girls is a curriculum developed by Boys and Girls Club of America, and we are very fortunate to have access to these programs that we execute at a local level. We've been doing this program successfully for several years. It's a program that has 3 separate age groups from girls age 8 to 10, 11 to 13, and then 14 to 18. Our focus has been on middle school students, and it helps girls deal with the emotional, social, and physical changes that they are undergoing as they enter adolescence and then mature throughout it. We are going to couple the program this year with individual mentors. We have successfully implemented a club-based mentoring program, and we're going to expand that so that every girl who participates in the Smart Girls curriculum will have a mentor to help her and provide some individual time as a way to talk about some of the topics and actually just build a relationship with a supportive role model, which is a very key element of the Boys and Girls Club experience. We're going to start the program this year serving 30 girls ages 11 to 13 at both our Paso Robles and Atascadero programs. And by year 3, we'll be serving 75 girls, and we will have also added a component for the 8 to 10-year-old age group. So thank you very much. We really appreciate the confidence that you've shown in our organization, and we hope to really bring about changes that will last through these young women through adulthood. Thank you.
You need the plan.
All right, I need the plan. Thank you. I love the plan.
Thank
I
you.
wouldn't miss the
So
plan.
let's just congratulate our grantees again.
I got to pick my own theme music. I mean, come on. So it is now my pleasure to introduce a role model and a true woman of distinction in philanthropy, Libby Agron.
Thank you. It is a wonderful experience for me to be here. And for a few minutes, I'd like to really talk about you, all of you in this room. We've talked a lot about the grantees and how we've gotten to where we are today. But the important thing is that we as a group of women, and we're happy to have the men too, but what's really unique about today is it's one of the few times that we can come together as women and share and really see and feel the power and the impact that we've had in this community. And I don't think we take enough time to really do that, to support one another and to praise and celebrate one another for what you women, we women have achieved in this county. We're very lucky to have a county that's manageable in size in a sense, in that we can see the problems, we can share the problems, we can look for resources, mobilize our friends, and take action. And because we have that, we learn from one another. And we as women, as we know, we love our families, we love our friends, we love our communities. And as we become more comfortable with ourselves and our communities, we're able to reach out and really see what needs to be done. Certainly, the founding of the Women's Legacy Fund was the result of Jane Sinton and other women at the time looking to see these are problems, they need to be solved, we can do it, we can do it. One of the things that's been incredible in living in this community, in this county, is to see that women have this very I can do it attitude. I mean, more than anywhere I've ever lived, women take it on. They take it on individually, they take it on in their neighborhood, they take it on in their community. And look at this group today. I want you to look at each other and to really be thankful you have each other and to say, this is only the beginning. We have so much to do. We have so much money to raise. We have so many more problems to solve. But we can do that. We can do that together. And it's the most wonderful feeling. We're so lucky. And I just thank you, and I want you to applaud yourselves for taking on all you're taking on. When the Women's Legacy Fund started in 1998, the idea began, and it took a few years to begin to think about fundraising and how you would put together an endowment. And they started with the goal back in about 2003 of getting 1,000 women to donate, 100 women to donate $1,000 each, which would give them $100,000 to start. That was the goal, and that's what they've worked towards. Today, there are over 328 members who are legacy women, and they are contributing $1,000 or more per year to the organization. They started with a small endowment, and as Heidi was saying, the endowment is over $1 million today. And we've just begun, because the more money you raise, the faster it doubles. So all of us in this room, let's hope that we can get it doubled in the next 4 to 5 years. And as we think about all the ways that we can participate, I was thinking as a legacy member, we tend to think of individuals, but we can make our book club a legacy member and together contribute that $1,000 a year. We can make our carpool, our running group, our golf game group, whatever it is. I want you to think in creative ways how we can continue to build our legacy group, because it's very important. And as groups and as legacy members, I want you to continually think, when you get up and brush your teeth in the morning, I'm a legacy member, and I'm making a huge difference in this county. We've said over and over again, but I'll say it again. As you empower women and girls, you make them financially secure. You give them dreams, you give them hope, and hope is a huge thing, because as you can see from the grantees that have been working on the mental health issues, we need in this very troubled world a lot of hope and a lot of mentoring and a lot of support for our women and girls. When they have that, they do good things. They build strong families, they build strong communities, they support everyone around them. It's nothing but win, win, and win. And everything that you are doing today is bringing hope and happiness to our community. Very important. So you're strengthening our communities, and what we'd like you to do is continue that infectious attitude of we can do it. So we want to open up our hearts today with another task, and that task is to raise more money and to create more financial power within the women of our county in this group.